Back up out the camera. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. You just close the door. Yep, I'm good. Yeah, 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 yeah. Make sure I'm looking all right for everybody. Just going on a little bit early to make sure that everybody gets on here. So many to look at. My goodness. So I know I'm on live right now. There's no one on here, but I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm so gonna edit this. There's absolutely no one on here. This YouTube thing is kind of rough. I swear. We're gonna stick with it though. We're not going anywhere. I promise. So what I'm doing while I'm waiting is I'm actually looking at a list of prominent television and film composers. And there's a pretty big list, James Horner, Jerry Goldsmith, John Williams. I'm sure you heard of John Williams, John Barry, Elmer Bernstein, Howard Shore. There's a lot of guys that what's up, man? How you doing? There's a lot of guys that have been uh historically in the background making music for television for many, many years, decades. Um, and historically speaking, television has been an area where we haven't even really been welcome. Like they haven't really come to the outside to get people to make music for television until like recent, the last couple of recent decades. Before that, it was a very, very closed system. A lot of nepotism. You had to know someone in the business, and most of the music that they considered hip music was created by these guys, John Williams and Henry Mancini, and these guys that are trained orchestral composers that were tasked with creating theme songs for television shows and soap operas and that kind of thing. And when it came to making hip music, they were, like I said, tasked to make this music too, until the 90s is when they started coming to the outside and getting guys like us to make music that sounded like the music of the day. Um, I think it's just a trip that uh, a lot of people feel like television film music is something that's going to be easy to get into, and it's not really. It's definitely possible, and if you follow the steps and do your due diligence, you actually have a high probability of getting in and making some money doing your thing. But it is television. It's television, and a lot of people seem to misunderstand the fact that it is television and it's going to be difficult. It's just like getting on the radio. You can't just get on the radio if you want to. You got to get signed somewhere and you got to do that. That it's not as intricate as getting a record deal, but there are steps that need to be followed, and it's not going to be easy to do. I always encourage people to keep going and doing it and to do it because it's highly probable that something is going to happen in the positive for you if you keep going and you do it. And that's merely because um, of the sheer amount of content that's being created by companies. There's hundreds of television shows, dozens and dozens and dozens of movies, hundreds of new streaming companies coming out all the time. So content is always there, and there's always going to be a need for it. AI is not going to be able to make the amount of content that's needed for television and film. They're always going to need us in this space. So when you're going down that road and you're pursuing sync, like, don't be discouraged when it gets difficult, because it's going to be difficult. There's going to be some times where it goes slow for you, or it feels like nothing is going on, nothing is going to happen. um but these are the times that you really dig in, and you focus on the things that you're trying to do, and you blot out all the distractions, and you realize that you're on a marathon. You're in a marathon, not in a sprint, and just keep going. If it was something that wasn't possible for you guys, trust me, I'd tell you, like, I would probably try to steer you away from it, because I don't want you wasting years of your lives trying to do something that's not going to happen. But being a sync agent owner, an agency owner myself, I can tell you that it's highly probable that you'll have success if you just stay with it and do your due diligence. And yeah, so now I'm finally looking at the comments. This is my section of the live where I hop on here when no one's in here yet, and I just start babbling. So there's something on here. I'm still getting used to this YouTube thing. So now I'm gonna look over at the comments and say hi to my people. What's up, Segura Productions? Happy Friday, Sundays. How you doing, girl? Nice to see you. Walter Boy, what's up, brother? Cherry, what's up? The lady producer, what's up, fam? And I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the love. And the set looks so good. You've been putting in that work. I'm trying, man. Little colors in the background, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do a little something, something. Um, it's a struggle because I realized something over this past week, which that's some of the things we're going to be talking about, is things that I noticed during the week when I in between the times when I see you guys, is that uh as much as I'm trying to be in the sync education space, um because I own a company and we're running a company over here, I don't have nearly enough time to do this, to be on YouTube, to film these videos. uh I could probably film a bunch of stuff, but it's the editing. That's why I do lives most of the time, because I don't have to edit these. I just pop them on here and we get down and we do our thing. But I'm looking at the guys in the space, the Anthony Clans, the XJ Wills or whatever. They're putting in a lot of work in the sync education space, and I just don't have that kind of time to edit and put cap cut, captions on all my videos. And like, it's very time consuming to do that. Um, we're actually in the middle of getting some social media interns. We actually got over 50 applications in this morning from universities like BYU and Berkeley and uh, uh, a few others um, out here. And so I'm looking forward to getting some help on that front. But until then, I'm struggling out here. So shout out to all of the people that are diligent with your social media. It is a lot of hard work. I see that now. You guys always make it look easy from the outside, and it's not. But I'm gonna do my best, man. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm trying to be in this sync education space. I'm gonna have to figure out another way to do it. We're putting together some conferences and that kind of thing. But I digress. Let me get off of here. Stop talking about my stuff like that. And let me go over to the comments, the visuals, the sense. Okay, so we got enough people in here to talk about the wins. You know how we do. I'm excited. What happened to you guys this week? Let me know. Friday to Friday. Let's get those fire emojis popping. So I'm looking in the comments now. What happened? We can get straight to it. Kimmy up here. What's up, Kimmy? I call her Kimmy. Everybody can't call her Kimmy. Y'all be professional with her, man. We've been having some issues with people text messaging her and being inappropriate in the DMs or whatever. Make no mistake, as cool as Kim is a sync licensing professional. She's an executive. She's this chief operations officer of this company, and she's an executive. She was an executive before I met her. Um, so please, if you approach Kim for anything, whether it's Smash Coast business or anything, please approach her professionally and you'll probably get better results. And that's not just with her, that's with anybody. You never feel too comfortable, you know. That's a big thing. You can't be feeling too comfortable with people just because we're being social on social media. This is the thing. We got to be social on social media. But then when it comes time to talk business, time to talk about that sync and that business, have a business attitude, man. Have a business demeanor. Be professional in your approach, and you're gonna get respected in that way. You want the people. The thing is, pardon me, is that you want these companies and these music supervisors to look at you as a peer. You don't want them to look down upon you like they are bestowing these opportunities on you. Like, no, it should be a peer type thing. They have the opportunities, they create media, they need music for it. You're a professional music creator, you're providing a service and a product. You guys, join hands and you do your business and this and that. But if you approach them in a way that's unprofessional, then they're going to see you not as a peer, but someone that's below them, whether it's, outright or whether it's subliminal. And you don't want that. That's part of the hustle. The part of this hustle is winning these interactions. Every time you get a chance to sit and talk to someone or email someone or have a conversation with someone, shake someone's hand, look in their eyes or whatever, this interaction, if you're trying to hustle your way to the top, you got to win these interactions. You got to leave these interactions leaving an impression on these people, to where not only are they impressed by you to a certain extent, but you're standing out. You're not going to be forgotten in the midst of all of these other people that are trying to get to them and have these interactions with them. So being professional is like there's no excuse for that. If you guys were going to get a job at McDonald's right now, you would be at that interview with a button-up shirt on and some slacks, probably from Ross or Burlington Coat Factory or something, and you be up there on your P's and Q's, trying not to say, you know, trying to use all your INGs on your words and that kind of thing. You would be trying to get that job. It's the same thing. If you're approaching somebody for sync, don't be casual just because you think they're cool, just because we're on social media or whatever, because business is always business, no matter what. I don't care if you're doing business with your grandmama. When it comes to getting money and compensation for this music, business is always business. So please act accordingly. Didn't mean to go on that rant, but I wanted to tell y'all that because, there's some stuff we've been noticing this week. So before we go into the meat of the sandwich, let's go ahead and talk about these wins because they excite me every week. You guys are coming with the heat every week. So let me look down here. Let's see. Sunday says, my win is that I started doing some soft promo on TikTok for my next single. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. Now, some people might not feel like that's a big thing, but she's getting something started, man. She's dropping some music, and I love your music, Sundance. That's one of the reasons why we picked you up. Gonna get you producing more music. We need more and more music from you, but you dope. Like you got that traditional R&B sound that eclectic sound that I like or whatever. So go ahead and let's shoot her some fire emojis because she's dropping some music and she's doing some soft promo. Let's turn that soft promo into some hard promo. Go hard. Go hard with that music. They say that when we drop singles, this is music industry information. And I just saw a video on it this morning. I'm gonna say this because Tay and I work together and we're dropping singles. They say that in order to make a single successful, that you need like anywhere from 250,000 to $1 million to promote that single, to grace the palms of DJs and lobby behind the scenes and that kind of thing. And this may be true to a certain extent, but me being an old head like I am, I believe in the power of good music. And I do believe in the power of social media. So I firmly believe that if a person drops good music, and I'm talking about music with substance, it doesn't have to be all deep and talking about the story of somebody's life or whatever, but something with some substance, that you can latch on to that 10 years from now you're going to be listening to. Um, if you do that, and then you're able to stay diligent enough with your social media, that grassroots is possible. I don't really feel like you got to spend $1 million to promote a single. I think, if you're trying to achieve worldwide, like Taylor Swift level fame or whatever, then yeah. But if you're trying to get, 10, 20, 30,000, 40, 50,000 fans that are rocking with you constantly, to where, like, you can provide them with, certain incentives, like, uh, content before anyone else. You're dropping content to them, maybe swag, whatever. Um, this is highly achievable if your music is good. So Sundash, your music is that good, girl. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis, hustle, hustle, hustle. Let me go to the next one. I'm trying not to be too long-winded. Let's go. Okay, so Revision says, um, yeah, you guys are giving her the fire emojis. That's dope. Revision says, "What's up, guys? Can't stay long. Just wanted to drop in and say hi." What's up, Revision, man? You got time to drop that win real quick? I appreciate you dropping in. It's so dope that you're here. I know you guys are like stopping in the middle of your day, your work week, your work day, your hustle day, and you're coming in and rocking with us. So I appreciate it. I want to let you guys know that every week. So let's get a win from Revision real quick. I know you got one. Your hustle is impeccable, man. Your style is wonderful. Let's go. Let's go. Revision. Okay, so while we're waiting for Revision, we're going to go to Walter Boy. Walter Boy says, "Happy to celebrate my 15th episode on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with a music placement this week." So we got fire emojis for that. That's what we're here for. We're trying to get placements up in this one. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're trying to get this music played somewhere. For real, for real. So fire emojis for Walter. Fire emojis for Walter, man. Out there getting it. Stack them up. And Love and Hip Hop is a good show to get placements on like that, because it's on VH1, I believe. So you're still getting back in royalties for that. That's like, as long as it's not on streaming, you good. It's gonna be on streaming as well, because that's just, a lot of these companies are doing both. It'll be like, uh we're showing it on this network and available on Paramount Plus and available on Hulu or whatever, so you can't avoid that. But bravo, man. Love and Hip Hop, they rerun stuff a lot. They use a lot of hip hop music, so I'm glad you got that plug. I wish we had a deeper plug with them over there. We don't get enough placements with those kind of shows. But that's what's up. Fire emojis to Walter Bowie. So I'm scrolling down, I'm scrolling down, I'm scrolling down. Let's show everybody the love, man. You know how we do. You know how we do. Okay, so I'm looking. So Segura, what's up, my brother? Segura says, "My win is being able to work again this week after the shenanigans. Composed, mixed, and mastered vocal sports EP for Smash Coast. I can't wait. And cross 200 placements this week." Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Okay, so my guy Segura faced some adversity lately. I'll let him tell you about it. He had a situation where he wasn't able to use his equipment, and he's kept his head in the game, man. He stayed on social media. When he wasn't able to produce music himself and able to keep his foot on the gas with this sync, he stayed on social media supporting other people. You know what I'm saying? So we could have a whole live about that, about the importance of community and us congregating and that kind of thing, because we can't do it by ourselves, right? So, but I'm not gonna go on that tangent. Y'all know how I do. I'll get to running my mouth. So let me stop and tell y'all to go ahead and send these fire emojis to Segura Productions, because he got over 200 placements, man. So he's off and running. He's off and running. Y'all heard his story before. There was times where he could have gave up, where it was looking like this wasn't going to happen. Not placement one was going to happen. And now he's sitting here with over 200 placements, working on sports albums and whatnot. So I guess you all the way in the sync game now. No toe, dipping a toe in the water, nothing like that. You done jumped in. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. That's what's up. Revision Music says, "Landed a placement on a spinoff promo for 90 Day Fiance. Couple E-News and Access Hollywood placements this week." Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So fire emojis to Revision Music. Thank you for stopping in here. I know you got to get out of here, but I knew you had some dope wins, man. I knew you did. See, these wins, people getting placements. People getting placements. They starting projects. They dropping music. They're getting placements. This is why I do the wins, man. So let's celebrate. Fire emojis, man. Add him. Don't just comment generally. Add him. Let's let him feel it. We all gotta feel this love, man. For real, for real. Okay, so um Gear Productions. Shout out to Jay Matthews for being a beast on vocals. You know, I'm gonna tell you about this Jay Matthews guy. All of y'all working with Jay Matthews. So shout out to Jay Matthews, man, because Jay Matthews out there collaborating his ass off for real. He's like, you got that heat. I'm trying to get that bread. And he's obviously good to work with because you guys are turning out a lot of music with him. So shout out to Segura for even saying that. See, I've told you, Segura man, Segura, you that guy, bro. For real, you that guy, because you, even when you down, you not down. You out here supporting other people and giving other people props. And there's more power in that than anything. When you can big up someone else and you can help someone else, and that's just your demeanor, the way that you get down, there's no way you're gonna fail. There's no way you're not gonna get where you're going, because it's the energy that you carrying. You're not carrying negative energy. The energy that you're carrying is all positive, and we already know about the laws of attraction. We're not gonna get all Oprah on you right now, but you know what you put out, you get back. And if you put it out there genuinely, I'm trying not to pop on y'all real quick. If you put it out there genuinely, meaning that this is the way you really are, you're not doing it to, to receive anything for reciprocation, then you can't lose, man. So shout out to Jay Matthews, shout out to Segura, shout out to the fire emojis. Now I'm playing. Shout out to y'all, man. I love y'all. So let me look down in the comments. Cherry, okay. I missed you again. I'm gonna scroll back up. It's going fast. It's going fast. Okay, so how did I miss Cherries? Because I don't see, there's not that many on here. Okay, so I'm scrolling. Walter Bowie, Segura, Revision, Segura. And then Cherry says I missed hers, but it's not on here. Wait a minute. Y'all just wait a second, because Cherry fussing at me real quick. Hold on. From the very first one. Okay, so Sundance, Cherry. She says Chella Fam. She says nice. And then she gave fire emojis to Sundance. And I'm scrolling and I see fire emojis to Walter. And then I see Segura, Revision, Segura. Cherry says missed me again, Coach. So I don't see you up. I don't see your thing. I don't see what it is up here. So post it again on here. I don't something going on. Like it's literally not in the chat, or it says top chat. So let me see live chat. Oh, okay. So now okay. You know what? My bad, y'all. This whole YouTube thing, man. Okay, it was only showing me top chat. You guys got actually a lot more comments on here. So let me scroll again. I'll give all of you guys the same attention. I promise. I'm not trying to hold the live up for just Cherry, but she fussed at me. So let me see. She said, you missed mine again. So now I'm going to scroll down again. See if we got it. You still ain't on here. Still not on here. Yeah, you're going to have to post again because I'm all the way down here at the bottom. Okay, so the next one, Revision says, I'll circle back and watch this later. Have a great weekend, you guys. Thanks. Okay, so that's what's up to Revision for popping in here, man. We appreciate you. Segura says, Pete Revision, saying bye. Oh, Segura says, I don't see yours either. Okay, so it's not me. I'm not going crazy. Petro, what's up, my brother? Hey, Glow, peace, y'all. Nice to see you in here. Follow and we'll follow you back, for real. Took the training wheels off. Yeah, man. So you guys go ahead and pop these wins in here real quick so we can get to the good. Sherry, I'm not seeing your win. So I'm going to the bottom here. Oh, Cherry says, Afrobeats EP dropping with artists on August 28th. Fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis, Afrobeats. And shout out to Cherry being so diverse in her music, man. She's really, really, really dope. So check out her releases. The diversity in her releases is mad. She is really, really dope with it. I really am a fan of your music. So go check her out. Fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. And also fire emojis for the diligence. I love the fact that you guys are not just doing sync, that you guys are actually releasing music and putting music out there. It's a street fight, y'all. This is a scrapyard scrap. So this is MMA stuff. So we're doing everything short of biting, you know. I think we biting too. We swinging with all limbs, both fists and feet and knees and elbows and everything. So, uh, translation, whatever you have the ability to do to get to where you're trying to go, do whatever you can do. There is no this or that. I should do sync or try to put music out. I should do this. Like, do it all. Do it all. You know, and Cherry is a good example of that. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. Let her feel it. Let her feel it. Let her feel it. Let's okay. Let me go down there. Okay, so um scrolling down. Cherry and Sundance will be a good killer squad, man. Cherry, you should make some music. Y'all should get together. For real. You both extremely talented. I can just imagine. God, y'all got my lips all shiny. Ain't nobody telling me my lip got look like I got lipstick on and whatnot. Come on now. Uh yep, picking up music chairs and swinging them. That's what's up, man. So congrats to Petrol for he had some personal wins this week we were talking about. We'll talk about that later, Petrol. And yeah, man, I'm loving the fact that you guys are staying busy, you're staying diligent, and you're putting out music. I love it. Love it. I love it. So we're still in the win section. I'm still scrolling. Yeah, Cherry, the lady producer, and Sundance. I feel like y'all could do some real damage for real. You know, just outside looking in. You know, I'm listening to Sundance's, crispy, clean vocals and her sultry style. And I'm listening to lady producers like super high skill level and diversity. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. Um, make some mid to up tempo stuff. If you guys get into it, we need not just us, but synchronization needs female empowerment. So not so much ballads. Stay away from the slow stuff. Y'all can do some. Release those slow ones on the DSPs, but keep some mid tempo. You know, I see Sundance. You kind of give me that 2000s vibe, that real music vibe, and I know Cherry, you all over that. So y'all kill it, man. Let's see what's up. Fire emojis. So I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. Let's start with we all woke up and have an amazing talent. Fire emojis to everybody grinding and pushing your skills. That's what's up, man. For real. Um, everything is easier when you move from gratitude. If you just wake up in the morning and you happy that you woke up, everything else is downhill from there. For real. Like you can have a bunch of horrible stuff going on in your life. But if you are grateful for the things that aren't going horrible in your life, it makes everything easier. See, two rules that I live by, and I'm not going to rant. I promise you, I swear I'm not going to rant, but two things that I live by. One is being grateful. Like I literally like do like that and, say thank you to God every day that I wake up and open my eyes just for opening my eyes up. Right. And then when I do feel those days or those times when, you know, my issues or my personal problems might be magnified for some reason, then I always uh change my perspective, meaning that I always remember the fact that there's a lot of people out there that have it worse than me, right? We live in LA. There's 70,000 homeless people on the street out here. If you As you see by my nice little studio or set, I like to call it, I'm not homeless. So, like, yeah, I'm just like you. I'm going through stuff just like everybody else. Life be lifing, but I'm so grateful for the things that I have and the things that are not wrong, that it allows me the strength to deal with the things that are. It's not just gonna be overwhelming for me because I wake up with gratitude. So, like, I'm not trying to Dr. Phil y'all or whatever, but Petro made a good point. You wake up realizing that not only are you blessed that you woke up, but that you have a talent that you can actually use to do something, make your life better, make other people's lives better. It's a blessing, man, for real. So didn't mean to get off the wins, but y'all know how I do sometimes. I get happy on the mic. I love being on camera. I love being on the mic. Ego head. Anyway, let me go back to the comments here. And let's see. The comments. I'll go back to the comments. Sundays. Y'all forgive me. Still learning how to navigate the YouTube chat. I don't know how to tag or do anything yet. It's all good, man. We see you. Sundays, if you just type in some fire emojis, then we know what you mean. We know what you're trying to do. It's all good. V Spell. That's an unfamiliar name. So welcome to the live, V Spell. Will follow you back. Follow me on Instagram, all the social media. I hate saying all that, but yeah, follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff, that corny stuff, all that social media stuff. And we got you. We'll follow back, and we're a community here, so we're not just gonna follow back. Like, if you need help with stuff, you're doing collaborations, like you need advice or whatever, that's what we're here for. Not just me, but all of us. We helping each other here. So that's what's up. Welcome to the live. So V-Spell says, newbie here. I'll take a crack at this. Finish setting up my Prophet Rev 2 and started a new beat. Prophet Reverb. Is that Reverb? What is a Prophet? Some of you guys know. But before you even answer that, fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis, because you out there getting it in. I see that. And I'm taking a crack at this social media YouTube thing myself, man. I am not that deep in the game with this. So, like, welcome to the party. We both gonna learn together. We'll make our mistakes and goof up together, but that's okay. We're gonna bounce off of them and improve. That's what's up. Sequential Prophet, hardware synth. Oh, the synth. Okay, so you got a real Prophet? I got a virtual one. I got the software. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis to V-Spell, man. Don't get us on here start talking about gear and software, because that's a whole nother episode. Phil Mason, what's up, brother? How you doing? Phil's my guy. Thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate it. You know I'm trying. It's a struggle. It's like every time I do a video, it looks different because I'm adjusting the lighting. I'm doing something different or whatever. So I'm trying to find my thing. The last live I did, I had the window open so I could have natural light in here. But I'm seeing if I darken it up and I control the light like this, I look a lot better. So thank you so much for noticing, man. Thank you so much. That's the kind of stuff that makes my stomach tight because, it's real competitive on YouTube. So I appreciate that. So Segura says, gear is a whole can of worms. Oh, man. Put a 1 in the comments real quick if you consider yourself a gearhead. Are you one of those people that if you have the money, you're going to buy stuff whether you need it or not? If they come out with the new such and such and you want to try it, if you have the spare money, are you going to do that? I'm like that. I like software. I have tons of software on my computer that I don't even use just because I tried it. You got to see what works, man. When you're trying to cook, you need to find the right ingredients to make sure your dish comes out the most tasty. You know what I'm saying? So that takes experimenting with gear and software. So definitely a 1 in the comment for me. Petro says, I wanted to drop a win in the research category for everyone who has no choice but to mix in headphones. Thought I had a console. Though I have a console, I don't have a great space for that. If you, the state VSX are insane. If you, the state, I don't know what you meant by that, but yeah, I'm one of those people that are mixing in headphones because I'm in the same boat. So we got these beautiful, the DT770. If you don't know, if you know, you know. These are, I did a lot of research on headphones to mix in, and these in the open backs. So the open back ones are meant to replicate, you being in an open room. So you can hear the mix in your ears, but you can also hear the background stuff. So it gives you more ambient whatever. I like the closed ones because, like, I like to be immersed in it or whatever. But the DT770s is what I use to mix in. Even though I'm horrible at mixing, Petrol's gonna be helping me get my mix game up. I don't know if you knew that or not, Petrol, but you're gonna be helping me get my mix game up. So yeah, that's a really great comment, and we'll talk about that probably on a video or another live where we're just talking about gear and software and things that you can do to improve your mix. Matter of fact, I think we're going to talk about that this episode because that's what we're talking about this episode, Petrol. So thank you for that great segue. We're going to lead into that in a minute after I get done with these wins. Let's go. So let's see. The Slate VSX are insane. Okay, yeah. So we're going to check those out too. V-Spell, love gear and looking to grow with everyone. Well, you family now, man. You here now? You already see how we get down. Matter of fact, if you don't know how we get down, y'all just shoot V-Spell some fire emojis real quick just to make him feel welcome. Make him feel welcome to the family, to the community, man. Let's let him know what we do here and how we get down. The reason why we do wins every week, man, I don't mean that, other guys know. I'm gonna let you know since you knew. The reason why we do these wins is because the things that we're trying to do with this hustle don't get celebrated enough. The things that we do, whether we're learning a new skill, whether completing a project, putting out some music, got a placement or whatever, in our personal lives, there's not enough people, family, friends, yada, 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 that celebrate these things. We might go to someone and be like, hey, I just did this. Or a lot of times we don't even mention it to anybody because we know they don't care. It's not their thing or whatever. And so we're a community of the like-minded. We know how important enough and how essential it is to not only keep going and keep learning these things and keep on with the due diligence, but how good it feels and how important it is to be supported. This can be the difference sometimes between you giving up and not giving up and keeping on going, is because someone believes in you. Me personally, that's what happened to me when I came out here to California. I was 37 years old when I decided to come back to LA and pursue music. And trust me, I had a lot of people in my personal life that thought I was crazy and said so, called me dreamer and all kind of stuff. And I'm coming to LA, which is like, one of the hardest cities on the planet to make it in, like not just in entertainment, but it's like, I tell people all the time, you don't live in LA, you survive in LA. And so all it took for me, once I got here, I was here for a little while and I had someone believe in me. Like, someone stepped in and was like, hey, I'm going to help you out because I see what you're doing. I see how you get down and I believe in you. And I had so much rejection up to that point that the feeling of someone believing in me was like, it was like I got a superpower. You know what I mean? Because before that, I had a lot of doubt. I told you I got this tattoo on my arm, the only one I got so far, but you can't read it, but it says never, never give up. And that's how I was feeling back in them days. Like every other day I was wanting to give up because nothing was happening. I was out here in LA living off of ramen noodles. Like literally, I'm a ramen noodle chef. I can make anything with ramen noodles because I was trying to mix it up. But I was, we were going and buying cases of ramen noodles and living off of that. And nothing was happening or whatever. And so all it took was for someone to say, like, I believe in you. And from that point on, I was like, look, I'm never going to let you down. If you believe in me, I'm always going to go hard. I'm never going to let you down. Every day I'm going to go hard. Your belief in me is not going to be wasted because it's rare that you get people to even do that. This was somebody I didn't even know that well at the time. It was somebody new in my life. But it was very important to me and it meant a lot to me. So I know that's not the same thing as what we do here on the live, but the reasoning is the same. I'm not trying to be corny with these fire emojis, man. I'm not trying to be corny or trying to come up with no shtick or anything for my live stream or anything. I really, really, really want you guys to support each other when you can. I want you to have the type of attitude, carry the type of attitude that you want others to win, not just yourself, right? And I want you to carry this in your daily lives. Like, let's support each other. You see how much further we can get when we do that. It should not be a dog eat dog situation when there's so many opportunities out here for all of us. Like all of us can eat. all of us can do what we're trying to do, and we can all help each other do that. I know it sounds corny and cliche to some, but this is the reason why we do the wins. I want you guys to, no matter how insignificant other people outside of our community might feel like these wins are, we feel like they major. And so fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis to all of y'all trying to do anything that y'all trying to do. You take any step forward during the week between the times I see you Friday to Friday, we celebrating that shit. Pardon my friends, but we celebrating. So fire emojis, fire emojis. Just so you know, V spell, that's how we get down, man. This ain't no corny community here. We learn a lot, but we also do a lot. As you see over time, a lot of the people in these comments are collaborating and they're doing projects together, and we encourage that because they're making good music. These are people that might not have met otherwise, but they all have the right attitude, and so magic can happen when that happens. So there it is. There, that's why we do the win. So let me go to the comments here, and we hit V spell with those fire emojis, right? Let's hit V spell with those fire emojis. Come on. Yeah, y'all got it. Let's let them feel the love, y'all. Let's let them feel the love. Okay, so oh, he's talking about the headphones. Great choice on the high end. DT990 open backs are great mixing masterings on a budget. Oh yeah. So let me go now. We're going for the wins. Going for the wins. There's only a handful of headphones that compete with those, right? So you typing with kids. I have the DT770s. Okay, so we'll go back to the gear stuff. We're going for the wins right now. I don't want to get off the wins because we're celebrating. But if we're done, we're going to go ahead and talk about what we came to talk about. Two things. We're social creatures. Getting that extra bit of support means so much. Absolutely. The forget everyone, I got mine mindset ultimately ends up being a very lonely road. For real, for real. That's a Garrett with the jewels dropping right there. Phil Mason says, "Welcome to the fam, V Spell." So V Spell, you see how we get down, man. Oh, and he's an engineer. So Petrol. Oh yeah, see, I was about to introduce y'all. You already on it. You guys are engineers. So you guys are different types of creatures, man. You engineers, you guys are Martians. We're mere earthlings. Engineers, especially good engineers, you guys are Martians. That's why I have so much trouble mixing, because I'm not a mix engineer. I'm a music producer. I know how to make my stuff sound decent, but like not as good as a mix engineer. They're the unsung heroes. And we're going to be talking about that in just a minute because we're about to get into the topic of the live. Okay. The topics of the live. Um, for all of you new guys, what I usually do is, because I'm in a unique situation owning a sync agency, we get a lot of submissions, right? And then we also have a lot of correspondence with other companies that send briefs in and that kind of thing, right? And so our perspective is unique. I like to come on here and tell you what I've noticed from Friday to Friday. It's always something different. This week, the things that stood out to me the most were the lack of quality mixes that I heard when I was going through the submissions, and we get dozens and dozens and dozens of submissions weekly. I don't get through them all, but the chunk that I listened to, that's one of the main things that I was hearing, was the mixes were like kind of crazy. And then the whole submission process itself, the way people are submitting music. Okay, so let's go there first because no, we're gonna stick with the mix. We're gonna stick with the mixes first, okay? Because once you've mixed the music, then you can submit the music. So I'm not a mix engineer. I'm glad I have mix engineers in the comments. All I can really say, because I'll admit to you, I haven't done a bunch of research on the topic. I was really, really busy this week. But what I can say is that the mix of your music will make the difference between whether you get accepted to a library, whether a music supervisor picks your music up, whether you have any success with your music at all. Okay. It's like for my car people out there, I'm a car guy. So you know how you can get a car and then you put a set of rims and tires on the car and it changes everything. Like it make the whole outfit, just like shoes, in an outfit. The mix is like that. The mix is like, it's weird because it's not noticed if you're not an engineer, but it's always noticed because you know the difference between what sounds good and what doesn't sound good, right? So these music supervisors aren't mix engineers, they're not professionals in that space or whatever, but they know what slaps, they know what's clear, they know what's even, and they know what kind of stuff they hear on the radio now. And you hear stuff on the radio, satellite radio, whatever it is, like, there's a lot of money put behind these mixes that you hear. That, these engineers in the industry, they get paid a lot of money. They have like unlimited amount of time to mix these records. They have unlimited amount of gear. I had the fortunate experience of meeting and kicking it with one of the best engineers in the business, Big Bass Brian Gardner, a few years ago. Look up Brian Gardner and see what he's mixed and mastered. He owns a mastering company out here in LA, and he's mastered for everyone, for everyone. Like, I can't even imagine who's I can't even imagine the amount of people that he's mastered for. He is a guru. Um, with all that being said, though, what can you do to make sure that your mixes sound good? Okay, so I see a lot of people are just mixing their music and they're sending it. You need to compare your mixes to other stuff. Okay, so put your mixes up against songs that are out there that you feel like are banging, right? Especially if you're doing songs, because one of the biggest things that I saw as far as an issue is how the vocals were being mixed in relation to the music. Okay, buried vocals, over the top vocals, over processed vocals, under processed vocals. It goes on and on and on. So if you're anything like me and you suck at mixing, then you're just gonna have to hop on YouTube University. If you are really trying to get it popping, we are in a community right now where we have mix engineers in the community that will be very, very reasonable with you as far as their pricing, and helping you get your mixes. That's something that I probably need to do because mixing correctly is very time consuming. I can tell the difference between guys that are spending time on their mixes versus just slapping a mix or slapping it through isotope ozone or whatever. There's a huge difference, especially when it comes to vocals, because when an engineer has got to the vocals, because you'll hear like, delays that are panning from left to right, in sync with the beat, and like little stuff like that that you can't just slap on there. This is like, it takes a producer slash engineer's ear to put these little nuances and this, the spicy things in the songs like that. But what you absolutely don't want to do is send music out before you've done this. Don't think that just because it sounds smacking to you that it sounds smacking, because you could have been in the lab for 6 hours straight and have ear fatigue. You might not be hearing the music correctly. You might have not have done your mix test where you are mixing it. I mean, you're playing it in crappy speakers, and then you take it out to the car and listen to it, or you listen to it in your ear pods or whatever. You might not be doing all of that stuff that engineers do. So if you're not doing it, you might be walking around thinking your music sounds better than it does. And that might be a reason why you're not getting as much movement as quickly as you would like to, because you might be making hot music and it just doesn't sound, it's not cutting through. Now, I told you I'm in a unique space, so I'm getting submissions, right? I listened to probably 50 submissions this week. And so and it's like playlist style. So I'm like, okay, I grab all the submissions, I listen. And when you're listening to people, every submission is from a different person. So every time I hit play, the mixes are totally different. These are totally different engineers, or totally different producers that are doing it. And so for the most part, like, if it's smacking, it's smacking. It don't got to be smacking in the same way, but if it has those if it's clear, concise, banging, you can hear what is, everything you're supposed to hear. You can hear it's mixed good. It sounds professional. That's cool. But when the ones that aren't mixed well pop up and they're mixed in with all of those ones that are mixed well, oh my God, it stands out like crazy. Let me tell you. Um, yeah, it stands out like crazy. And this is what I was hearing. I'm like, it was like a bad mix sounds worse to someone like me, because I'm not listening to just your submission. I'm listening to a bunch of submissions at once. And all companies are doing that. All music supervisors are doing that. So your music isn't just getting listened to on its own uh valid is volition. I hope I'm using the right word, but it's on its own merits, but it's being compared Sync is very competitive, in case you guys didn't know that. Like, it's never just about just your music. These clients need the right music. So you guys are competing to try to submit the right music, not just your hot music. So everything that you can do to make your music stand out, short intros, coming in with energy, mid to up tempo styles of music, and very, very high on the importance list, a great mix, you're going to have a lot more success in the game if you guys are doing these things versus just making your music or whatever. So what do you do to make your mixes better besides YouTube University? Well, only thing I can say right now is you guys are in a community with some really dope engineers. Reach out, ask questions, maybe get some consultations, besides the YouTube stuff or whatever, or save up a couple bucks. I'm always preaching invest in yourself, and just pay these guys to mix your stuff. Develop an alliance with one of these guys or a couple of these guys, bring them some value. These guys that are very, very dope in the mixing space, they like doing it, and pay them some money and get your mixes done. But if you don't, you're going to be walking in quicksand and not even know it most of the time, because nobody's going to tell you. You're just going to get rejected. So I'm here to tell you, some of y'all mixes ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So get out there and get those mixes fixed. Any questions on the mixing? You might not want to ask me. You might want to ask somebody in the comments. You might want to ask a V-Spell or a Petro Media. These guys are engineers. But it's definitely necessary. You guys definitely need to improve your mixing. So let me go to the comments real quick. Had a library act. Segura says, had a library act for my tracks to be 8 to 6 loose. That is loud. That is not that I'm going to sit here and act like I know what a loof is, but man, that sounds loud compared as far as your comments are concerned. V-Spell is like, whoa, that's loud. Yeah, you guys see, remember when I told you guys are Martians? Y'all some Martians, man. Stop talking that Martian crap. Speak English. See, now y'all in here talking that. No, man, tell everybody that don't know what a loof is. I hope I'm saying it right. What a loof is before you guys start just running your mouths with all that Martian talk. We earthlings, man. Speak earth. Speak earthling. So let's see. See, look, 13. We don't know what you're talking about, man. You guys could go do another live with all that engineer talk. That is loud. What is loud? You know what? Forget y'all. Y'all not answering me loud enough. I'm about to go in here and Google what a damn loof is. What is a... And how did you spell that? L-U-F-S. What is a loof? Loofs are units of audio loudness. The acronym stands for loudness units relative to full scale. Essentially, it's a standard way of measuring audio that blends the perceived loudness from human hearing and the true intensity of an audio signal together. Wow. So what is a good loof levels? Okay, so regarding loudness, a good setting would be from 9 to 13 loofs, which is with the dynamic range reading on levels not exceeding 8 DR, whatever that means. With over 100 million people using Spotify, it's crucial to make sure your music is heard in its best light. Consider this: the loudness of your music will ever be heard on Spotify is about 14 loofs. Had actually so 8 to 6 loops. So the lower the number, the louder it is. So 14 loops. Oh, okay. I got you. See, I just learned something, man. So yeah, man. So what they say? 8 to 6 loops. They tripping. 8 to 6 loops. They tripping, man. What do they mean? 8 to 6 loops. That's insanely loud. I would like to hear what 8 to 6 Loose sounds like, really, so I really know what I'm talking about. I'm not just out here fronting. But now that I read the definition, I know that if it, like DBs is the same thing, the lower the number, the higher it is. So that's crazy. They wanted it loud. But to our point though, that shows you how important your loudness is slash your mixes are to these companies. They pay attention. If it's not loud enough, if it's not banging, and some of these companies, these libraries do release music to DSTs, the Marmosets and companies like that, they release music to DSP sometimes. And so the mix is crucial. So let me go back to the comments. Take me to your meter. See, look, see, damn Martian. Y'all some aliens, man. I love you. Extraterrestrials for sure. Okay, so Petrol says, add a spectral analyzer to the end of your mastering chain. It'll give you perspective, blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. We're not doing it. Come on now. Like, you talking Martian again. You need to like do a video for that. Spectral analyzer. Okay, so some of us going to be like, what the hell is a spectral analyzer? You know, I know what a spectral analyzer is, but I'm saying like it's so easy for you guys. It's like talking to doctors and you guys are talking about surgery and stuff. Like, we don't know what y'all talking about a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like some of you guys like are probably way more knowledgeable in that mix space than I am. You would think I know a lot more about that, but like I do what I do. I stay in my lane. I really respect these mix engineers. So when it comes to like really getting stuff mixed, I just go to them to do it. And I'm kind of that way with anyway. I don't dry clean my own clothes. I don't, like I would rather have a professional do whatever it is I need done whenever possible. And that, that's why I tell you guys when you're promoting yourselves, don't be a jack of all trades, be a professional, because that gives you higher value. But that's another topic. I digress to another. Go back to these comments here. I usually master 10 to 9. Stop. Y'all engineers, get out of my comments with all this. Stop. If you guys have questions to ask engineers, please. I know you guys are happy that you found each other and y'all can talk all this engineer talk, right? We're probably gonna need some sign language or some interpreters for y'all because y'all are like going ham in the comments. That's hilarious. Y'all are tripping. I'm so happy to see it though, but that I told you, man. I told you, V-Spell, I told you how the community is here. Like, it's a lot of love in the community. You're gonna get a lot of knowledge, a lot of value, and you're gonna get some stuff done. But we gotta stay on point, man. Come on, y'all. Petrol, y'all be going ham. Like, come on now. We are not all engineers in here. Aglo says, Petrol, I'm glad you mentioned that. Span is a great free VST for. See, all right, see, stop. Petrol, add a pet. See, come on now. Okay, loudness units. Phil Mason. Thanks, Phil. See, y'all got me thrown off, man. I introduce y'all, now y'all off on a tangent. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Trust me. I'm fussing at y'all, making fun of y'all, but you guys know that come to the live every week. You already know how it warms my heart to see you guys doing this, getting in the comments and talking to each other. And that's going to lead to collaboration, which at the end of the day is going to lead to some great music, some great projects. And then after that is going to lead to some success, some placements or whatever. So I encourage it, but come on, y'all. So that was a pretty short topic. You guys know the people in the comments that are into the mixing, as you guys see. So any of you guys that have issues with that, make sure that you get into their DMs, bring some value to them, and get your mixes fixed. Get your mixes improved, because that was one of the biggest things that I saw in the comments. I mean, in the submissions this week is some terrible mixes. So fix that. So one in the comments real quick, if you with me so far, we're ready to go to the next topic, which is the submission process. Oh my God, we're gonna get into these submissions, man. Very, very important. We've talked about it before, but we're gonna talk about it again because I'm seeing the same kind of mistakes, and it's crazy. So give me a 1 in the comments if you're with me so far. We're gonna wrap it up. We're 1 hour in. We're gonna try to get this done in another 30 minutes. 1 in the comments if you're with me on the importance of mixing, what you can do to improve your mixes. Very simple. YouTube, YouTube University or find you an engineer. Either improve your mixing skills yourself, which I would, encourage you to do anyway, or or find you an engineer uh, that's willing to work with you with a dope skill set. And engineers are like artists too, man. Engineers have styles too. It's not just that they just mix stuff and make it sound good. Like, I know some engineers who actually have a creative ear. So they'll take your vocals and they'll do stuff like, bouncing the delays, or, adding grit to your vocals, or, amps to guitars, or like whatever it is that can enhance, and I like producers like that. I like producers that aren't scared to, ask, hey man, can I do this? Or do you mind if I do that, or whatever? They're not just trying to mix it and make it sound good. I like that creativity in engineers. And I'm not scared. Usually when I use an engineer, I'm like, hey, you do you. I've done me. So now you do you. So hopefully together, when we do us, it comes out, magic happens. Um, so yeah, shout out to the mix engineers, man. Bow down to the mix engineers. That's what's up. So I'm seeing one in the comments. So let's go to these submissions. Okay, man. I don't want to sound too complicated when I'm talking about the submission process, but it is very, very imperative that you guys know what you're doing when you submit your music. As I said in my reel that I dropped yesterday, this is more times than not your point of entry. This is the point where you've done all your due diligence, you got your music right, your mixes are right, everything is right. Now you're ready to go. You're ready to start pitching your music, right? It's like walking up to somebody in a mall or out in public or whatever. You're not going to be, appropriate or too casual if you don't know the person. You're going to be professional. And I know I don't want to sound like a broken record, but professionalism is the name of the game. You do not know these people. A lot of people see me like as the producer whisperer on here, and like, I'm very cordial, and I'm sociable and all that stuff or whatever. But make no mistake, when it comes to compensation for your music, when it comes to sync licensing, I am 100% professional. When I hit you in the email, I'm 100% professional, whether we work together or not. When I'm approached, approach me accordingly. Don't hit me in the email or or the DM because you see me on a producer whisperer laughing and having fun with y'all, saying, "Hey, bro," because right now we're not talking business. Right now, this is a social thing that we're doing. We're on social media. I'm doing a live stream about sync licensing, and we're congregating, we're getting to know each other. There's a lot of fun involved, you know, and we're learning. And part of it's like in school, when you're in school in class, we laugh and joke and have fun. Some blow spitballs at each other sometimes or whatever. Like, but at the end of the day, at the end of them semesters, at the end of the year, you're supposed to have your grades and you're supposed to be graduating, and then when you get your degree, it's time to get to work. You can't go to that interview doing the same stuff you was doing in class. You can't be blowing spitballs and flirting and passing notes and all of the stuff that we were doing. So, like, when it's time to get down, it's time to get down. Do not be casual in your approach. Okay. Be professional in your approach. Okay. And that's not just doing your due diligence and having your business handle before you reach out to them, but that's what you say when you reach out to them. Yeah, you want to have all your music prepared. You want to be ready. Okay. You want to be ready when you do it. Don't have to go back and fix stuff. You want to be ready. But as soon as you open your mouth or you start typing these words or lay pen to pad, you be professional. You address them like you respect their place in the game. Excuse me, my name is such and such and such and such. You know, I saw that you were using this kind of music on this kind of show. I'm a professional, and in this space, I feel like I could bring value to your media or to your situation. I've enclosed a brief link of a few of my pieces of music for you to review. Please get back to me at your earliest convenience or whenever you can. I appreciate you taking the time, and get the hell out of the email, right? But you get in, you're very cordial. If you've done your due diligence, then you already know who you're emailing. So you're going to say, hey, I love the music that you placed in this episode of such and such. I love your work on this movie or whatever. I know who I'm talking to. I'm not just copying and pasting this thing and sending it to any damn body that'll respond. Like, I am paying attention to you specifically. And I'm saying that in this email in a very, very short sentence or two. And then you get in and you say what you got to say. You get them to that link. You have no more than 10 pieces of music. I say 7 is the sweet spot. You have 7 pieces of music in that link, and you get in and get out. No casual, hey, no longs. I mean, I was reading people's bios. I was reading people coming on there trying to be impressive. I mean, like the very first line, greetings. I've streamed 2 million streams on Spotify, and I have this and that, and I've done this and that, and this and that, and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, like as a person in my space, you know how many times I've read emails like that and then click the link and the music sucked? But you started off with, I've done these things and I'm this and that, and my accolades and this and that, and they love me all over the place. And like, no one needs to hear all that. There's not time to hear your biography and all of the accolades or whatever. These people are busy, bruh. Like these music supervisors and these libraries and these sync agents, like we busy, bruh. When it comes time to sitting down and listening to submissions, which is always a daunting task on our part, we want to get in there and get them submissions done. So we're listening, we're reading these emails and we're listening to every piece of music that comes through. What you say is important. How you say it is important. Your impression is important. Now, even though I get those bad emails, for if they sent a link, then a lot of times I'll go ahead and I'll listen to that link. But I'm gonna be honest with you, me and a lot of other companies, when it comes time to listen to submissions, it's like I said, it's daunting. There's a ton of submissions. We're a small company. I can just imagine what an APM or somebody's getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of submissions to a library, right? And so you don't want to have a book. You don't want to write a book, and say all of these things. And you certainly don't want to write a book big up in yourself and your music don't back it up. I say let your music speak. You get in, you let them know that, you're submitting to them, you know who it is. You say briefly what you're a professional in. Not that I can do anything. I saw a lot of that. I can do all genres of music. I can do it like, okay, so you guys are all saying that. So what makes you special? Okay. Oh, you're a specialist. Oh, that makes you special. You specialize in something. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a chiropractor. I'm looking for a brain surgeon. See what I'm saying? So if you specialize in something, you say that. Then you get to the link. I've enclosed. I see people, and this is like some of us in the sync education space are saying that, my son, are saying that, sometimes it's good to send an email and ask, is it okay that I send you a link? I disagree with that. At first I would be like, whoever tells you that, like, that's their opinion or whatever, and it works for them. I disagree with that, being in the space that I'm in, being a company owner, because, time is your enemy, right? So you don't want to force that person to have more interactions with you than necessary. They're busy as hell. Like, you always got to respect their potential busyness, right? And so you go ahead and say, I've enclosed, and put a short one link in there to 7 pieces of music. Don't put multiple links in there because you're asking them to spend way more time in your email than necessary. You don't want to hit them and say, hey, can we do another email? Can you write me another email just to give me permission to send you a link? That you might not get that other email. The person might look at it and be like, okay, it's great that they're asking, but why didn't they just put a link in here? They took the time to send an email and set all this stuff in it. So they could have just put a link at the bottom and I would already know what was up. So include that link in the first place. Don't ask if you can send it. That's my advice personally. And get in and get out. Make it short, sweet, a short, sweet paragraph that's professional as hell. Like you trying to get a job somewhere. Y'all know what job hunting is like. Y'all know what it's like when you broke as hell and you trying to go get that job any damn where. Like, we older now, so we try to get jobs. Like, we're looking for jobs. We try to work where we want to work at. But when we were younger, like, we fast food. You was at that McDonald's dressed up as you could be, trying to get it like it was a corporate gig with a 401k. You were professional then, so be professional now. Don't be casual just because we're on social media. So with all that being said, with that rant being said, the biggest issue that I've seen with the submissions is just the unprofessionalism in the way people are speaking. The long examples of, the biographies and their life and their history and when they started doing music, and like, there's no one's going to read all that right now. They're going through submissions. And yours isn't the only one. So be professional. Hit me with a one in the comments if you guys are with me so far. I know you guys all know this, but like I say, I got to tell you what I noticed during the week. Some of you might not be submitting correctly, right? But if I've said too much, just keep this rule of thumb. Do your due diligence first. Okay. Know who you're emailing. Don't copy and paste the same stuff to everybody, because like we can see that a mile away, right? Introduce yourself as a specialist in what you do. So pick out the genre that you're the dopest at and lead with that. Find shows that use this genre. Reach out to music supervisors and look, like I said, do your research. Find shows that use this genre. Reach out to the music soups or companies that are placing the type of music that you specialize in. So you're not just hoping that you send it somewhere that's going to, get you some success, right? Introduce yourself, stay short and sweet, get them down there to that link. And like I said before, if you've done your research, then you know what that music supervisor is worked on, or you know what successes that library has had, and you can mention that in the beginning of your email. Hey, I see you guys are working on such and such. Congratulations on da da da. I love the music that you placed in Walking Dead episode such and such and such. This was one of the things that led me to get in the sync. Of very inspiring. you know, but I won't be long-winded. Please, enclosed is a link to 7 pieces of music that I feel would be perfect. I specialize in this genre, da 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 da. Get in and get the hell out. These type of emails I listen to 100% of the time. I'm like, okay, they're very cordial, because at the end of the day, right? So say you want to get picked, right? You want them to pick your music. They're not just picking your music, they're picking you. Libraries, for a lot of the time, are picking your music. They'll get your music, and then they're going to disappear. You're not having a lot of interaction with libraries. But music supervisors, sync agents and stuff, especially companies like Smash Coast, we're going back and forth with you. Like, we're in the trenches with our people. And so when we select people, we're not just selecting the music, we're selecting the people, because we're going to have to work with you. Okay. We don't work for you, we work together. Um, so there it is there. Be professional in your approach. So for you guys that are getting briefs, okay, I'm gonna tell you something that's the kiss of death. I'm gonna tell you how these briefs work, not just with my company, with like 90% of these companies. Okay. When you send music into a sync agency or a company or music supervisor or whatever, right? Let's just take Smash Coast for instance. Okay. You send music into Smash Coast, right? The guys on the team, you guys know we have Dropbox folders for you. How we work is when you send this music in, you put music in your folder. We're digging in your folders. Your music is not sitting with us. We're digging in your folders. We are sending these masterpieces of yours to our clients that we already have. So you guys know we're in house with CBS Sports, with CBS Network. We have these clients. We're just getting in the ad space. So we're always weekly creating playlists with the music that you have in your Dropbox folders. And we're sending that music out, not only to opportunities, but we're creating opportunities with your music, right? So it's not sitting. Okay. So this is what we do with the music that you send in on a regular basis. If you're dropping music in your Dropbox folders, on a monthly basis or whatever. So we're moving that music. We're getting it out there. We're doing what we can. A little slowed down because of the strike right now, but that's what we do. So then when we come in and we hit you with a brief and we say, we need something specific, that means a client has hit us up. A client has said, we need a certain type of music in a certain amount of time. What really irks us is when you guys hit us with, well, I sent a bunch of music. It's in my folder. Basically, can you guys dig through the folders and look through the stuff for this brief? That's not how it works. We're always digging in the folders, right? But the thing is that there's no way a company, us included, is going to know all your music. Especially if you guys are really turning in music, you're turning in X amount of titles per week. We don't have time to sit and listen to every piece of music that you have. That's just not going to happen. You didn't get picked to be part of Smash Coast because of every piece of music that you have. You got picked because of your professionalism and your skill level, right? So we already know your skill level is up to par. We're not picking you project to project based on your skill level. We know that. You know your individual pieces of music better than us. So how it works is when we get this client, Toyota or this ad company or whoever it is, and they say they need this music, we already know which ones of you guys are professional up to par. So if we hit you with a brief, that means like, okay, we're thinking highly of you. We want you to work with our client. That's our job. Our job is to create a working relationship between you and our clients, not just to place your music. The only way for us to be able to build this relationship between you and them is the familiarity, them seeing your name come across the table through these submissions, right? So it's a good thing. What we are not going to do is go back through all of these folders and dig through all of the music to try to pick what we feel is perfect for this client. That's what you guys should be doing when you get a brief. This is your opportunity to start to build a relationship with this client. You know your music. So you go into your folders and you know that, okay, well, it's a Toyota commercial. You got the brief. The brief says yada yada yada. Hey, I made 5 pieces of music that are perfect for this. We're not going to know that. We know that you're dope enough. We know that the music in your folder is dope enough and can get plays, but we don't know every individual piece of music. We got 90 plus people on the team. Some of y'all got hundreds of pieces of music in there. So there's just no way for us or any other company to know your individual pieces. If we reach out to you with a brief, that means it's time for you to work. We don't work for y'all. We work with y'all. So if we send you a brief, it's time for you to get to work. Okay, well, let me go on my folder. Let me figure this brief out. Let me try to knock it out. It may work, it may not. But this is your opportunity to create a relationship because only so many people are going to be able to submit to that brief. You know, we're not sending 50 people in a brief. You know, we get a brief to one of our major clients like that. It's like 5 or 10 of y'all that come through that really do it consistently, that send music or whatever. So you're not competing with a ton of people, but the 5 or 10 people that are submitting to that brief, the people that are getting that brief over there, the Toyota, the ad company or whatever, they know your names. It's not like the music isn't good enough. It's not like you didn't get picked because the music wasn't up to par. It's a brief. So the needs are very, very specific. And we don't know the creative mindset of the person asking for the music. So it's just a simple fact, a matter that, you know, it got picked or it didn't get picked. But if it didn't get picked, your music is over there. Your music is over there on the, with them, and they know that you are on a certain level because they know that only certain people have these types of opportunities. Certain levels of creators have these type of opportunities. So what you don't want to do is hit us back or any company back and say, well, I submitted some music that might fit this. Do you guys, it's in my folder. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we work for you now, right? No, we don't. We work together. We're pitching your music all the time. Okay, we're in your folders, we're pitching music all the time. This is how it works. So when we call on you to step up and like go on your folders and pitch some of your music specifically for this client, that's your opportunity to shine, baby. It's not for time for you to lean back and wait for somebody to do some more stuff for you. This is an opportunity for you to step up and let your name be shown to these clients. Briefs usually come with upfront money. Briefs usually come with situations that you want to be a part of, right? So just pay attention to it, man. Don't feel like any of these companies work for you. It's always going to be up to you to make sure it happens when you're called upon. So I know that was kind of personal, but like I said, this is something that I noticed. I know Kim would want me to bring this up in a live or whatever. So there it is there. So we talked about the wins this week. We talked about the importance of your mixes, the crucial importance of your mixes. Like it's like the mix can make or break your submission for real. Like, you know, there was a bunch of emails I deleted as soon as I heard the mixes like, this is terrible, can't use it, you know. So I encourage them to keep submitting, but you know, fix your mixes. We also talked about today the importance of being professional in the submission process. Hey, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but like it sucks that I even have to tell some people this, man. Like you shouldn't have to be told to be professional when you're reaching out to someone to start a professional business relationship. You want compensation for your music, right? You want to work in the television and film industry. And a lot of people don't really realize that it's the television and film industry. It's not the music industry. It's the TV film industry. It's like next to advertising, it's top of the food chain as far as like, you know, getting your media placed in, and it's not going to be easy to do. So you got to follow the steps. You got to do what you need to do to get in. But the people that are in here are waiting for you. These music supervisors, companies like mine, we're waiting for you to do what you're supposed to do because we need the music. We always need the music. We always need the music. So please be professional. Do what you're supposed to do. Do not give up. When it gets slow, keep going. Congregate, you know, with others, the like-minded. Do what you do, everything you need to do, man. So I'm ranting again. So be professional in your approach. And then, yeah, the little personal thing we talked about, Smash Coast. If you guys are getting briefs, for those of you that are getting briefs, if you sent in music to these people before, do not hit them talking about you've sent them music. They know that. They know you got that. There's music over there. You think that they would know that and not go in your folder and hit you unnecessarily? No, they're hitting you because it's time to hit you. Time for you to step up and fill this brief out. Don't matter what you sent before. It don't matter if it got placed or not. This is a client stepping up saying, hey, we need something. And this is us saying, going to you, believing in you guys, giving you guys the look, giving you that alley-oop and saying, hey, let's knock it out. Let's do this for the client. If y'all don't want to do that, then that's fine. But that's just the way it works. I want to let you guys know that. So with all that being said, let me see a 1 in a comment. If you guys are with me so far, we're going to open up a quick Q&A about anything at all. And then we're going to get out of here and go do our Friday. Let me look at my phone real quick. Quick 1 in the comments, though, real quick. Oh, they got me in this group text again, group conversation. No notifications. Okay, I'm out. 1 in the comments. Okay, so we doing good. Sorry, I had to step out on the little phone real quick. 1 in the comments. V-Spell, you still here? So we got you, huh? We got V-Spell up in here. We got us another one. He's still here. I told you. I told you the live was dope. Okay, Sagara says, what's up, Sagara? I heard Sound Gym is a really good way to learn as well. Trains people's ears to hear specific frequencies. Okay, so we're still on the mixing. Like you taught me, it's better to wait and submit right than to submit it poorly. I'm missing out on this one because I know it's not ready. For real, your brand matters. Your brand is everything. Yep, if the email is all I, me, that looks really bad. And I get that a lot, man. I get the emails a lot. I'm looking here real quick just to show y'all something. Hold on. I'm gonna look at my submissions, see if we got some new ones today. Oh yeah, I got a bunch of them. Let me pop one open real quick, see if it's a good one. Yeah, it's a bad one. There's no link in here. Okay, so the submission says, I'm glad I'm opening this up so I can give you guys something. Okay, so the commission says, hi there, I hope you're well. Okay, good so far. I'm writing to submit the following songs for consideration for placement opportunities. Number 1, Homeless. Number 2, Until When. Both songs are off my EP, Sigh, which received critical acclaim from The Guardian, Clash Magazine, Mixmag, Ones to Watch, aired on KEXP, KCRW, BBC Radio, One Extra, NTS Live, Bandcamp Weekly, and more. Sigh was performed at South by Southwest in March 2022, a performance now available on Vivo. I'm available should you have any questions, need more information. Thank you for your time and consideration. Okay, so I just read all that. There ain't all that stuff they said. The Guardian, the Clash Magazine, all these radio stations, live performance or whatever. There's not a link to none of that. It's just an email. You saying all that, put a YouTube link up to a performance, put a link up to your EP. Why are you only pitching 2 songs off your EP? There's just a bunch wrong with this submission, man. Actually, it's not even a submission, it's an email. There's no link to anything. They say, I am available should you have any questions or need more information. Or are you now? Are you available for me? Delete. So what I was supposed to write that person back and say, yes, I would love more information on all of this stuff that you just said. Forget that I have 90 other emails to go over today that is just you that I'm talking to right now. Like, that was a bad submission, so delete it. Let's delete it. I'm not going to write them back. Let me look at another one real quick. This one looks a little better, looks a little long. I'm going to read it to you, tell you if it's good or bad. Okay. Hello. I'm interested in serving you and your clients with my almost 40 years of being a songwriter musician in varying capacities. I have worked with other libraries providing music for briefs, but these are all 100% one stop where I own 100% masters in publishing. These are mostly all short instrumental songs with edit point stingers that either combine multiple genres. I have shortened and consolidated playlists here, or feel free to dive into the links in my signature. And then he has a disco link. Okay, so on a rating from 1 to 10, 10 being a great submission, I would rate this a 4. Okay, because I can tell that the person is like, they're just sending this to everybody. They didn't do any due diligence. They're not sending it to me. I don't feel the love at all. Like, you didn't look at the Smash Coast website. You didn't look at none of the shows or placements that we have. I'm not hearing that you're a professional in a specific genre. You hit me with the you. So I'm serving you. Well, he did say serving. So it's kind of, with my 40 years of being a songwriter. Okay, so that don't make no difference at all. You could be in the game, in the game 40 years and suck. You could have 40 years of not being good at what you're doing. So that length of time is irrelevant. You could be a brand new producer who only started doing sync not that long ago and like be in the game. Segura Productions, you're not a brand new producer, but like, he's not that long in the sync game. He took the time out, did his due diligence. Now his emails are buttoned up, his music is right. He's not hitting you with the I've been in the game 20 plus years. Did like that's, he ain't trying to hear none of that, man. So I can already tell he's not talking to me. I have worked with other libraries providing music. I don't care. These are all mostly short instrumentals. Okay, so us particularly might be great for a library. We don't need those, but that's not a negative for him. He's talking about what he does. That either combine multiple genres. Okay, so you're a jack of all trades. You don't want to do that. Everybody says they're a jack of all trades. So what's special? So what I will do though is, because he does have a single disco link, which is great. And then he has, under his signature, he has a website link, and then he has separate links to some other songs. So it looks like some other albums here. Let me click on one real quick and see what it is. Come on now, pop open for me. Oh yeah, this is an album, an EP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, EP called Moody Landscapes. Is probably instrumental. So I'll give that a 4 to a 5. I'll say a 4 because even though he did put a link in there and the email was somewhat, it wasn't unprofessional, but I could totally tell that he's just copying and pasting stuff, right? And a company like ours, like, we look for specifics. We're looking for somebody that we can work specifically with. And so we hope that you're trying to work specifically with us as well. You're not just, sending the same email to everybody and hope that you get, whatever. A lot of us in this space are like that, man. Like, we can tell whether it's personal or copy and paste. Some people, it doesn't make a difference whether it's copy and paste. They're just trying to get to that link if they can use a music or whatever. But the thing is that you're trying to build a working relationship with someone, right? So the more genuine you can be, the better it is. You got to be genuine. Like, if you're walking up to somebody to talk to them, don't be fake, and don't just be trying to, I'm just going to send this out and they're not, whatever. Like, you guys hear what I'm saying, man. I'm not trying to be long-winded about it, but you guys heard the example. Let me go to the comments real quick. Okay, Phil Mason talking to V-Spell talking to Phil Mason. Segura says, they said all that. Do they want you to look the songs up for yourself? Yeah, see what I'm saying? Welcome to my world, man. You're talking about dozens and dozens and dozens of submissions every day, probably 100 a week plus that we get. And it's my job personally. I'm taxed to go in there when I have time to sit down and go through these submissions. And this is my world. I'm like, the vast majority of the time is submissions like this where they're long-winded, or they didn't do their research on us, or they said a bunch of stuff and didn't send a link to anything. I was on this and I did this and I did that and I'm this and I'm great and I can do backflips with on fire, but no links to any of this stuff, right? Like I said, then I'm supposed to go back and be like, oh, all that shit you said was so compelling and so interesting. Please do send us some links to something. I wasn't doing anything else. I was just sitting here waiting for your email. Like, I get an attitude sometimes, man, and it's just and I'm jaded because, like I say, I get dozens and dozens, hundreds of email submissions or whatever. So like, I'm a professional submission reviewer. I'm an ace submission reviewer. So I know what I'm talking about in this space. I know where you can improve in this space. Get the hell in, get out. No one cares about your backstory. These are people that need a product. They need a product from you. Can you deliver that product consistently? Are you professional in your approach? Do you do your due diligence? Do you know about this space? Or are you just trying to get your beats placed or whatever? Are you trying to be a sync professional? Like, all of this stuff comes out through this point of contact, through this initial email. So please take your time, do your diligence, be professional. If you don't know how to do it, look up some examples, get your ass on ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT to write you some professional emails, tell them that you want to make them short and sweet, ask for the help, get the help. If you can't do it, like, all of us aren't, we're not proficient in this space like that. So, and I get that. So if you know that this is a area of weakness, get somebody in your squad, in your circle, with that strength and utilize them. Do what you need to do. But what you can't do is keep sending these crazy emails with all of these long-winded descriptions about your life and your history, no links to anything, a bunch of irrelevant information. Get in and get out. That's my advice for that. I am hollering at the emails. Yeah, the emails is crazy. I could do this every week. Matter of fact, it might be a segment. I might be, let's read a couple submissions real quick. I'll do like 2 or 3 submissions a week. Tell me, hit me with a 1 in the comments real quick if that's a good idea. If you guys want to hear some 2 or 3 submissions every week, just so we can hear some examples of what to do and what not to do. Y'all let me know. Yeah. All right. I won't put the people on blast personally, but I am going to read these submissions. I'm seeing some 1s. Yeah, there we go. All right. And you can see they're kind of entertaining too, huh? I don't mean to laugh at people's mistakes or whatever, but we're not putting them on blast personally. We're just reading the emails. But it's goofy to sit there and read somebody talking about all these radio stations they've been on, and they've been on the news and TV, and they got write-ups or whatever. And then at the end of that say, well, yeah, if you have any questions, just hit me up. Like, you didn't leave a link to nothing. Like, even attachments, like putting an attachment in an email is a kiss of death. You never attach an MP3 or a wave or anything, a video or anything to an email. You never do that. But even if they had done that, which is a fatal mistake, it would have been better than just like, okay, yeah, you got some questions, hit me up, hit me back, and I'll send you some links. Okay, all right then. All right, brother, I'll send you some links. That's crazy. That's craziness. I'm not tripping. That's not craziness. Am I tripping? That's craziness, right? Sagara, I know you know that's craziness, right? That's craziness. Sagara says, Cherry says, yeah, I'm hollering at the emails. Reading the emails needs to be a reel. Yeah, you know what? I think I might start doing that. I might just putting bad submissions in the reel. That might help me take off something. Thank you, Cherry. That's a good one right there. Fire emojis for you for that one. I appreciate that. I'm gonna do that. So Sagara says, I know some 17-year-olds who make stuff that blows some experienced pros out of the water. Exactly. All of that. I've been doing this for 20 years and 30 years and this and that. And like, what that got to do with anything? That's like, we live in an age of technology. I could see if you were playing cello or piano for 20 years, then I expect you to be a virtuoso. But we talking about software. We already know how these kids are with software and phones and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't surprise me that a kid that's been in the game probably 6 months is already making bangers. because they got a fresh mind. They're not jaded. They're not walking around talking about, oh, I've been in the game and this and that. Like, oh, so you already feel like your poop don't stink, huh? You already feel like we should be treating you a certain way, and you got certain things coming to you and the expectations and all that kind of stuff or whatever. For you to lead the email off talking about how many years you've been in the game, right? Who cares? The music supervisor that you sent in the music to could have been on his job for 6 months. So what is that? Well, I'm a music supervisor. I've been music supervising for 30 years. And like, what does that have to do with anything? It's totally irrelevant to be putting in an email when you're trying to submit some music to somebody. So the hilarity continues. Welcome to my world, y'all. For real, for real. But reading the submissions in a reel, I might do that. I might just do that. That's for real, for real. Cherry with the great suggestion. Shirley Sound, where the hell you been? Shirley Sound, welcome to the live, man. Welcome back. Where you been, Shirley? So Segura says, oh, I know people submit to me thinking that I'm a library sometime. Yeah, because those are the people that aren't doing the research. It's just they're setting themselves up for failure, man. If you think you're just going to throw darts up against this wall and hit a bullseye, you're going to be spending the next 10 years throwing darts. That's real. You got to do your research. You got to do your due diligence in the background to have success in this game. And that's not just about your music and how to set your music up. That's how to approach people. That's how to speak to people. These libraries, your emails, your submissions, like everything that we do. The people that are, I know what it is, though. I know what it is. If you don't know me, if you don't know Smash Coach, you just go to the website, you go to the social media or whatever, you see what kind of placements we get and we've gotten, or you go to the guys here in the live or whatever, and you see that they're on social media and they're doing it, right? They're getting placements, they're posting a placement alert, they're doing it, all right. It looks easy from the outside looking in. It's like, oh, they probably just sent some music in, the music got picked, and boom, this guy's got a company. They probably just whatever. I don't know how the hell he did it, but it looks easy outside looking in. It is not easy. This is not easy. It's not easy. Nothing worth getting in life is easy to get. Nothing. So stop trying to casually approach this sync stuff. Oh, I'm just going to send some beats off my computer to hell with them being formatted correctly or whatever. I'm just going to, whatever your casual approach is, you're going to get less than casual results from that. Okay. So approaching sync with a casual attitude is going to get you absolutely nowhere. Do the work you're supposed to do in the background, man. Make sure you're professional. Before you approach anybody, before you even think about reaching out to a Segura Productions or Cherry Witt, the lady producer, or Sundez, or whatever it is, whether it's a sync company, a fellow creative, a music library, a sync agency, whoever it is, have your freaking shit together before you reach out to them. And I know I cussed on here, but I don't even care. Like, it's so frustrating that people think that they can just jump into something and be successful at it without any like due diligence. Is crazy to me, but you see it all the time. You see people thinking that, oh, I can do that too. I can do that too. And they can't do it. Anybody that's a professional in whatever space they're in, they're professional because of years of work, dedication. They put that work in, that 10,000 hours. I've got 50,000 hours. I can't stress enough how important it is to not approach things, not even just the sync stuff, but anything you're trying to get to in life. Do your research and respect it. Respect the game. I guess that's how I should have put it in the first place. Respect the game. For you to think you can just jump into anything because you see someone else doing it and have the success that they've had or feel like you're as good as them, that is disrespectful on so many levels, right? You cannot hop into nobody's profession that they're getting paid in and do what they're doing without putting that work in. So cut it out. So Shirley Sound says, been busy editing videos mostly. So you're a video editor? Are you doing your own videos or you do that for people? Cherry says, I've been doing music a long time, but I'm a newbie at this game on the real. Exact same here, And if you are humble, if you do have a level of humility, excuse me, then you're always going to be in the process of learning, which means that you're never going to get to a point where you feel like, oh, I've been doing this so long and I'm my poop don't stink, right? You're gonna you're going to always have that humility because you always have that learning mentality. And that's what keeps you ahead, man. That's what keeps people wanting to work with you. That keeps your music fresh or whatever. As long as you don't feel like, oh, I'm to this point where I'm it now, you're always going to get better. And that's what life is about. That's what this music is about. That's definitely what Sync is about. So great comment, Cherry. You know, I got to get used to calling you Cherry. Me and Kim was laughing about it a couple days ago. Kim and I actually went yesterday and met with day before yesterday and met with Riza Santos, and her fiance. She came out here to LA, so we went to Beverly Hills, had the most delicious lunch. Oh my God, it was so good. I tell you about this restaurant. I think it's called Avra, Avra, in Beverly Hills. Look it up. Expensive as shit, but oh my God, the food's done. But yeah, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, you know, lady producer on the line, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, you know, her name is Cherry, and she been letting us call her Sherry, and we laughed for like 2 minutes about that, and Kim was like, yeah, I've been calling her Cherie, and she was like, I thought, like, yeah, she should have corrected us a long time ago. So I'm getting used to saying Cherry now. All of you guys that don't know, that's how she pronounces her name. Her name is Cherry, and we love her to death. Cherry is dope. Cherry says, yeah, been doing it a long time, and she got that right attitude, man. So Shirley Sound says, still on the grind for sure, but just started. So vacay time, taking the fam camping for a few days, time to unwind. I heard that, man. I spent a week in Phoenix 2 weeks ago, week before last, and it was the most relaxing. You know, I did my live from there, and like, yeah, I hadn't seen my family for a long time, so balance is definitely needed in this game. You can't just keep your foot on the gas all the time because you're gonna make mistakes. You know, you start thinking about, you know, just the work, and you got to get away from it. I like to tell my sons, you can't have the best perspective when you're painted into the picture. Sometimes you got to step outside of the picture and look at it from a different perspective to see things clearly. And that's what you're doing. You're stepping away for a minute, going to get some clarity, not thinking about music, you know, and doing what you're supposed to do. So fire emojis for that. I preach that. Fire emojis for that. And we support you in your outing and your vacay, Shirley Sound, and we will be here when you get back. Welcome in open arms, brother. That's real. Ag the OG, where you been? Welcome back, Ag the OG. Come on now. True respect is acknowledging what that person had to do to get there. Exactly. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people have this, I can do that kind of attitude. And yeah, it's just very, very disrespectful to take something, to see something somebody spent so much time and energy and effort, you know, put all that time into, and think that there's just nothing to it, that I can just do that. That's kind of crazy to me. So um so that was Ag the OG 1986, back up in here, man. A Glow. Now here you go, fooling me again. I keep forgetting that's you. Why you got two profiles? You don't got to explain that on here, but it's confusing. So we're used to seeing the Ag the what's that? On one my phone, and this is my laptop. Oh, okay. So I got you. I got you. I was just using to seeing the Ag the OG. So welcome. Anyway, I thought you were gone, brother. You've been here the whole time. So my bad. Fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. It is true. The highest level of respect that you can give someone is to acknowledge and respect the time that they put into their craft, especially if you're trying to pursue that craft too. You know, you are a student, they are a teacher. So have that attitude, man, for real. So we having a good one today. Let's go ahead and open up this Q&A real quick. We're gonna do a quick Q&A. Ask me about anything, sync licensing, hustler mindset, and we're gonna go ahead and get out of here and do this Friday, man. I'm about to get out in the streets myself. Whoever's not following me, follow me on here. I'll follow you back. And whoever you guys aren't following each other, follow each other. Instagram, Reels, what's it called? Threads. I mean, I ain't been on Threads in a minute. How you guys doing on Threads? You guys posting on Threads still? Has the newness worn off yet? The excitement? Segura says, I don't like Threads. Why not, Segura? I was hopeful about it. I never used Twitter. So for it to be a Twitter substitute, I was like, whatever. But that first week I was on there, it felt like something. But I don't know. I haven't formulated my opinion all the way yet, but I'm gonna listen to you guys and hear what you guys are saying. Okay, so Segura says, Lady Producer says, I love how the non-musical men around me are trying to school me now on the NFL music. I heard that. Well, Cherry, I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of chauvinism in the music game, as you already know. And I can't speak for these dudes. I'm not like that. Like, skill is skill no matter what, gender you are. But yeah, when it comes to music, and not just music, there's just a lot of chauvinism, man. So sorry you got to deal with that. But you know more about the music side of it than they do. So I don't know what the hell they talking about. You need to just check them sometimes. Kim likes to call it mansplaining. She hates being mansplained. She deals with that too. She's a female executive. So we deal with other people, guys in our space. Like sometimes they they don't treat her like the executive that she is. And I correct that when I can. Just like I said on here earlier, I'm like, you guys reach out to Kim, man. Don't be all casual with her. She's an executive. Don't get it messed up. She's not on these lives every week because she's running the company while I'm on here. You know what I mean? So don't reach out to her talking about Kimmy, and don't be DMing her and all that kind of stuff. Be professional. Get her email. Be professional. Not just with her, with anybody. Okay, so Petrol says Threads is weird. Still better than Twitter though. Segura says it lacks the ability to curate the feed, and a few other things I felt were basic. Yeah, I kind of felt like that too. I was seeing just whatever on my feed, and I like to, curate it. Like I want the people on my feed to be music based or sync based or whatever. And then I'm seeing a lot of just random memes, like the brother that got jumped by the white folks, and then the black folks come in and saved him or whatever. Like I'm seeing a lot of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I get it. It's social media. People want to like get some views because of the moment or whatever. But like, I don't. I'm not into that. I like my feed curated. I'm usually on there trying to handle business. Not so much entertainment. If I want to be entertained by social media, I go to TikTok because the randomness on there is just crazy. But I see what you're saying, man. I agree with Segura in that sense. So still reading. Cherry says mansplain. Yeah. Kim says she hates being mansplained. Honestly, it's the females right now really helping a great deal to keep the industry alive. Some of my favorite rappers and producers right now are female. So I'm going to tell you about females in the music game in case you chauvinistic brothers have an issue. The highest grossing music of all time, commercial music in all time, are female writers, female singers. Um, the Whitney Houstons, the Celine Dion's, the you already know, like, even J Lo is up there with like the top selling females in music history, right? So women are doing it. They're writing the songs. Look at what Taylor Swift is doing. She's selling out 3, 4, 5 nights in a row in stadiums and stuff like that because she's talking about stuff that's personal to her. And not personal like I'm finna go spin the block and kill my ops and all that kind of stuff these stupid rappers be talking about. Like, she talks about stuff that's personal to her, and she's able to grow that large fan base like that because women relate to what she's saying, right? So women aren't afraid to be emotional and expressive in their music, and guys always got to be guys. Guys got to be talking about, you know, pouring bottles out in the club and like, guy stuff. Like guys don't like really write. And country music, you'll hear guys writing songs about love and this woman and expressing their feelings and that kind of thing or whatever. And when it comes to music, this is what makes a song or music playable 10, 20 years down the road, is like you're putting stuff that you feel in the music. You're putting your expression, your content, your experiences in the music. And a lot of guys are trying to just make music that to hype you up and get popular, for the moment. And so a lot of guys' music don't have longevity. It doesn't have longevity. You know, there's a song that came out a while back. I was just talking to a homie about it yesterday. It's called Cash Out, Cash In, Cash Out, that 21 Savage did with Pharrell and Tyler the Creator. I thought this was gonna go for a little bit, goes against what I'm saying right now as far as substance. But the fact that it was Pharrell hadn't been out in a long time, right? It was 21 Savage, he was popular. 21 Savage does try to rap some stuff sometimes. It's not just goofy stuff. And it was Tyler the Creator, who I'm a fan of. Tyler is like eclectic. He's off the beaten path. He's his own artist or whatever. So when they came out with this cool little song with the the claymation, Adult Swim animation video or whatever, I was like, okay, that's cool. I love the beat. I'm a big Pharrell fan, so I'm like, okay. I thought the popularity of that song was gonna last at least longer than 4 days. You know, if the song came out on a Monday, wasn't nobody tripping off that song on Friday. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it didn't get a week. People were posting it because of the video for like a week, maybe, if it even got a week. And then nobody was talking about that shit the week after that. It was like done, because there's no substance in it. They wasn't talking about it. I mean, they weren't talking about nothing, right? And so a lot of people, like, even though it was a cool song, nobody could really relate to it. You can't drop songs talking about you got a lot of money and this and that, because most of us don't, right? So you ain't gonna relate to that. But the females are out here writing these songs, man, and making these songs. I ain't talking about the Megans and the Ice Spices and stuff, because they ain't really talking about nothing either. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Act the OG, you hit it on the head, man. The females are keeping things alive. They're keeping it creative. They're keeping the music game going in ways that aren't really being appreciated. That's why in synchronization, female empowerment records are always big to pitch, because you know there's no male empowerment records. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to the females. Phil Mason says, love collabs within the SC fam. Thank you, George. Man, I appreciate you. And we talked, man. Matter of fact, me and Reza talked about you. She said, because I asked her, I was like, is everything working out with the guys that are sending you music? And she was like, oh, I love Phil Mason. The only thing with Reza right now, she's about to get married. So she's kind of off the set right now. She's planning this destination wedding with her dude. I met her dude. He's cool as hell. Her dude is a damn emergency room. He's a trauma surgeon. So when you come in there all shot up or car accident or whatever, he the one that got to dive in there and fix you, sew your arm back on and that kind of stuff. So we had a great conversation or whatever. But yeah, so shout out to Phil, man. Like, you out there, you doing it. Like, she loves your music. She loves the way you work with her. We're gonna do great things. So patience for that. As soon as she gets married, like, we're planning for her to come spend some time out here in LA. We're gonna get some studio stuff going, and she's gonna stay here for like a week at a time and knock out some stuff or whatever. So yeah, the females, man. So going back to the comments, it says Petrol says, I've always had a better experience with women in the studio. They come to work and go home. Guys always want to tell me how to record and all that. Yeah, I get it. 100%. Females are about their business. Segura says, we're seeing the lack of longevity with a lot of male artists now. Yeah, because this is another live. We're going to talk about that. But there's a certain narrative when it comes to male artists, especially in hip hop. Or I should say, there are certain narratives that are being driven by the labels for certain reasons. Like I said, it's a whole nother live we could talk about. But the things that they're talking about are very detrimental to themselves, to us, to the art form. Um, they're not leading to any longevity. They're not talking about anything, no substance at all. So that I could see that. And yeah, everything is a flash in the pan. It's about being viral, going viral, you know, instead of being true to yourself, writing, from your experiences and stuff. I totally agree with you, Sagaris. Uh, Petrol. Petrol says, seriously, ladies add value. Teach me how to deal with your voice. Teach me how to deal with your voice, how to make you better. I love that. Tell me how to mix in a very ready and tell me how to mix and just ready to leave. Yeah, they get in, they get out, man. And like, in the conversation that I had with Riza, like she wants to be produced, right? Females don't mind being produced. If you have a skill set and you want to work with them, they will listen to you. They're trying to get better. Even if they could sing their face off, they're going to listen to a producer. They're going to listen. Guys come in a lot of time. Oh man, like, they want to make the beats if they don't make beats. They want to mix if they don't mix. They're not as easy to work with in a lot of cases. Not you guys in the sync space. I see a lot of dope collaboration. Shout out to Jay Matthews. But it's true though, like, I'm not gonna make this some like, against the men because we be putting it down too. I mean, I'm not trying to bash guys or whatever, but like, yeah, the females, you guys bring a lot of unique value to the space that is often overlooked. So I'm glad you guys are saying that. Get ready, yeah, exactly. Okay, so we never did get to the Q&A. You guys aren't asking any questions, so I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes and then we're gonna get out of here. We've been on here for 2 hours. I'm about to get out of here. Hit me with a 1 in the comments real quick if we had a great live, if you picked up something today, if it was good, if it was entertaining, and it'll help me going forward. And yeah, so that's what's up. Okay, so I'm not gonna be all long-winded. I see the questions are not coming in. If you guys have questions and you guys aren't asking them right now, this is gonna be up on the YouTube, so you can get in the comments and ask questions. I'll look later, and that's what's up. So I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. There's been another great live for the new people. V-Spell, welcome. Hope to see you back next Friday and every Friday. Let's make this big, y'all. Y'all have a great weekend and stay safe out there. I'm the producer whisperer. Peace.